And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We are blessed and highly favored here in studio and looking forward to another great show. We've got Jay Smith in studio with us, A-Snoop Inspection. He is our go-to for all home inspections, commercial properties, new builds, and making sure you work with Jay Smith, A-Snoop Inspection. Also, attorney Jason Kobal going to be calling into the show, Tampa WorkCompLaw.com, personal injury law as well. Also, the big, beautiful bill. We've got a clip from Secretary Bessent talking about the tens of trillions of dollars that have come into our economy. And in 26, just around the corner, there's going to be a lot more impact from that big, beautiful bill. So find out more about that. Dell-funded Trump accounts. The program has expanded from our initial coverage of that story. You got $6.25 billion donation. 25 million children will have accounts, will have access to those accounts, and $250 into those accounts for children aged 10 and under before January 1st, 2025. And then also $150,000 is the median income threshold for eligible areas. So it's based on, the median income for your area. So really cool stuff happening there. We'll cover that story. Tampa Code Enforcement Director is fired. Find out why. Kind of interesting story there. And we'll dive into it. A couple of hot listings. We'll get started here. We always feature our real estate properties on air. It's part of a strategy that helps us sell faster for more money with less headaches, maximizing the exposure on the sale of your real estate properties, of our real estate properties and your listings. We would love to help you buying, selling, investing, refinancing. Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife Lindsay and I own top team here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Let's start with 12948 Twin Bridges Drive in Riverview. This is a beautiful home, single-family home, 443, 3,200 square feet, quarter-acre lot in Triple Creek. It's a great community that has 3 pools, splash pad, 2 clubhouses, fitness centers, playgrounds, tennis and basketball courts, dog park, walking trails. And this one is a beautiful home. I love the color scheme there, the lighter color kitchen interior, beautiful wood-like flooring tiled with the wood look. Great opportunity to own real estate right here in Tampa Bay. You have an open concept, oversized pavers leading to the driveway there. And then also in the back, you have that beautiful lanai with TV, kind of a living room set up out there. Beautiful property, 12948 Twin Bridges Drive in Riverview, Florida. Let's look at 9914 Ala Vista Drive in Gibsonton. Another one of my favorites. This one's 1922 square feet, elevated stilt home that sits at the end of a quiet street on a large waterfront lot. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis, nestled on a canal on the Alafaya River with access to the Gulf. Check out 9914 Ala Vista Drive in Gibsonton. Fully solar powered, updated panels in 23. You also have a standing seam metal roof, hurricane shutters, professional. And Jay, a roof like that's going to last a while when you got that standing seam, 50-year galvanized standing seam metal roof. Those are nice.
Love those roofs.
Yeah, that's nice, man. That's adding value on your home and just that peace of mind that you got a good solid structure there as well. 9914 Ala Vista Drive. You can see all of our listings and search the MLS at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. You can see all of our radio show expert contributors and see previous shows at consumerqb.com.
Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue.
All right, we got Jay Smith, the Snoop Dog, back in studio with us. A-Snoop Inspection. Welcome back in, sir.
Good to be here.
Yeah, man. How are things going on your end?
Going good. I had a really long inspection last week. Thanksgiving, had to inspect all the food, especially all the desserts, test them all out, make sure they were good.
Give them a test run.
So now we're just on to Christmas here in a few weeks. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Yeah, man, that's good. Did you eat too much or just enough?
Actually, no. I kept it within reason.
Yeah.
Didn't feel miserable at 7 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah. It's a good time of year, man. Good time of year. visit with family, eat some good food.
Man, that's, of course, one of the days that you can indulge yourself and overeat. So.
Yeah, that's right. Remember what the season's for. Jesus is the reason, right? And so, yeah, man, let's talk about these. I want to jump right into permitting because it seems to come up a lot with listings that I take, and then you have issues sometimes. Can you just give us an overview of what to look for if let's put ourselves in the first-time buyer position and we're going to buy a home. Let's say there's open permits and you're not really sure what the previous owners did. Maybe the contractors didn't do everything by the book. What do you normally see out there?
I see open permits quite a bit. I believe there's a lot of open permits that happened during the COVID years.
Yeah.
They were really hesitant even on inspections and things like that. They were always putting stuff off. And honestly, most of them can be taken care of pretty simply by making a few phone calls.
Yeah.
Because some of them did get missed during the COVID years and people were working from home and just didn't click a box saying it's completely done, but when you can still find the inspections.
Yeah.
So it's not the end of the world. Now, if you've got the home, the two biggest ones I think that can be a problem, the addition that's not closed out. I mean, that's a big deal because you got actual structure and a lot of work going on there, and your roof. The other permits don't cause as much trouble if the water heater wasn't closed out or the HVAC. I mean, the preference is for them all to be closed.
Yeah.
But I do run into quite a few open permits. I did one the other day that had 3 open permits in the last couple of years. The solar was open, a tree permit, which it's a tree permit. They got a permit to take down the tree, so they went through all that, but it wasn't closed. And again, that could be just a clerical error in the municipal building and just get it taken care of.
Let me ask you this, Jay. So what if there was a contractor that, unscrupulous contractor taking shortcuts, they didn't open a permit in the first place, started doing windows, started moving walls. Now that's a different situation because that's not an open permit. That's a permit that wasn't pulled in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, that an addition being done like that, that's a bigger issue.
Yeah.
And you could run into some things. I mean, if certain municipalities, if they really wanted to be nasty about it, they can either make you open up walls or do different things just to double check things. So you're actually tearing it apart to get it passed and get it done.
Yeah.
So it can be not a lot of fun.
Outside of that, you would have to hire, in many cases, an engineer to come back out and look at it. And what are they going to do? They're going to put the things on the wall that kind of tell you where the studs are, things like that. They're going to kind of look.
They're going to look over the structure and make sure they feel like they're comfortable with it and redo it.
Yeah.
And then the city or municipality, whatever it is going to refer back to that engineer. Like they're not going to come out and re-inspect.
Right.
It's really the engineer signing off on it.
Okay.
And now they're way to go. Would be much cheaper to get the permit originally than to try to do a permit later on.
Yeah, and in some cases it's an older client. The client doesn't really know. They take the contractor's word, but believing that there's some type of a morality or ethics there.
I mean, I've actually been on a house, and not to talk about, but one of our big box stores that was doing roofs at one time, and it was done 5-6 years prior, and it wasn't closed out. But I could tell who it was. I'm like, you need to call. That's a big company. You should be able to get it taken care of. And that owner had no idea that had happened prior to him buying it.
Yep. And that's when you see it kind of bubble up. It can be a problem. We're talking with Jay Smith, A-Snoop Inspection. He's your local home inspector. Work with Jay. He's been a show partner, contributor on this show for over a decade. We're over 12 years on air now, so pretty darn close to 12 years. We've been working with Jay Smith. He's our home inspector. Residential, commercial, new builds is another area sometimes people overlook. They just kind of take the builder's word for it, and that's not always the best way to go.
Yeah, I had one recently that ended up actually they just called me. I didn't do the inspection for them. 4 months later, ended up with a clog in their drain system. They didn't buy a washer and dryer immediately, and once they hooked it up 4 months later, ran it 2 or 3 times, and they're getting leaks in their house because there was something stuck in the pipe.
Oh boy.
So,
and then hopefully that's within their first 1-year warranty. Is that typical, the 1-year warranty?
The 1-year warranty, yep.
Yeah.
Which that's what I tell us is get right on the phone with the builder. They should be responsible for what's happening there.
Yeah. And that's why you want to get one done right around month 11, right?
Yep. Get the 11-month inspection. We do those all the time. It's always good to have it inspected before you take possession, but if you don't do that one, definitely do the 11-month inspection.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a smart move there. Have you heard about these Dell-funded Trump accounts? Have you heard anything about that?
I heard a little bit about them. I haven't looked too much into them. What do you know?
I think it's great. I think it's awesome, man. So a lot of people are, a little bit confused. We heard kind of rumblings of it a couple months ago, and even I was asking Mark Hay, our financial advisor. He says, I haven't heard a whole lot about exacts on that, the exacts on how to get it, how to obtain it. So there's been more information coming out about that. But Michael and Susan Dell, $6+ billion gift to kids, and that's through these Trump accounts. Now, what is it? Okay, so the account will give $1,000 from the U.S. government for babies, and they have to be born between 2025 2028. No income limit. They must have a Social Security number. And the invested into stocks and ETFs. So it's a great idea. Hey, let's give them a head start. Let's start getting them into the investing. And how they work, parents can contribute up to $5,000 annually, employers up to $2,500. And I love that idea because so many times as a kid, I've got a 20-year-old, so I've been through this whole gifting process and the teens. And, instead of getting that toy that they're going to play with for a year or something that they're going to, not use a lot, and maybe not but both, hey, buy a little trinket, little toy that they can play with. But, hey, throw $100 into their account there, Grandma or Aunt Joe, Uncle Joe, or Aunt Frances,
Absolutely.
So I like that. I think that's a really good way to get financial and then it also gets buy-in from the kids. They start looking at that account and saying, hey, wow.
Well, and now it's a teaching moment that they start learning what's happening with that and how they might be able to invest even on their own.
That's right.
Once they're booted out of the house, the 20-year-old.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, exactly. And then what happens is, they have that pride in that. They have the understanding like, hey, this actual money, instead of buying a toy that I'm going to play with for a year and then, the toy ends up donated or maybe passed down to the next kid, you're actually building up money. I remember back in the day, we used to have those little books when we go into the First Bank of Cluison, it was called, right there in LaBelle. And I remember seeing, because we would raise the 4-H hogs. Remember that? We'd raise 4-H hogs and steers. And, so we would grow that hog over 3 or 4 months, whatever it was. We'd take it to the county fair. And then, they would go to auction and we would come up with $1,000 or a couple $1,000, whatever we made on that. And then we would make a deposit, and you see the interest. So you're writing it down. You're like, oh, wow, Grandma gave me $100, and man, I sold a 4-H hog there. I made another $1,200. You start seeing that accumulation, and I think that's just such a powerful.
A lot of youth get that. I mean, even our generation. I don't think our parents sat us down a lot of times and talked about this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Not too many didn't, and that's what we see evident too. And I think it boils down to that. You can take almost any ailment in society. It comes down to the parents, right? You look at the fatherless households, particularly among African Americans, more so than Asian Americans or even Indian Americans, and then you see the success levels. So the parenting is such a major aspect. And then also, education has really gone downhill over the years, especially the Department of Education. That's why I like what Trump's doing, kind of reorganizing that, hopefully returning a lot of the power back to the states. And then those fiscal literacy classes, we've always talked about those. I think that should be a real thing that, we add back into the school. Shop class should come back.
Yeah.
There's something to be said with that type of exposure at a young age.
I remember growing up, and of course, we're getting along in years. Is the Votex opening up when we were younger? And you could learn trades or woodworking, working on cars, whatever it is. And it seemed like we've gone away from that over the last 15, 20 years, where that was a big thing in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember making potato gun? Did you ever make one of those?
Nah, I never made one of those.
I learned how to make one of those back in the day. It was pretty fun, man. It was cool as a young, probably around early teenager years. But yeah, you learn how to make things with
troublemaker.
I know. Yeah, and it was pretty cool to be able to hey, had all this extra wood or material and then PVC pipe, and I could go out there and make stuff. I learned I was welding at a young age. I would fix lawnmowers.
I was building bicycle ramps.
There you go. Yeah, bicycle ramps.
What can we jump? Let's jump a car. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. What could go wrong? All right, let's take a quick break. More with Jay Smith, A-Snoop Inspections. inspection here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check him out at a-snoop.com, a-snoop.com for all your home inspections. And check us out at consumerqb.com. Quick break, right back.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleaning, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894. consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. Hours Creole. The Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner. Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, hourscreole.com. Hours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, hourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com. Our friend Derek Kobal at rightwaypa.com. Looking to level up your sales game? With 20 plus years of coaching experience spanning across several industries, Lindsay Rimes helps everyone from entry-level reps to seasoned business owners boost sales, improve work-life balance, and retain top talent with customized options catered to personal, group, or corporate settings. Brandon and Lindsay Rimes offer training on negotiation strategy, business development, and more. Let's grow your business together. Call 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Submit an email at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Jay Smith in studio with us. Quick shout out to Lee's Royal Services. He does a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Lee's Royal Services for home and office cleaning. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. On the interior, on the exterior, talk to our friends Ramin over at Heights Soft Wash, pressure washing company here in Tampa Bay. HeightsSoftWash.com. Taking clean to new heights. HeightsSoftWash.com. All right, a couple of hot listings. We'll jump right back into this with Jay Smith in studio with us. 5729 Garden Lakes Palm. This is in Bradenton, Florida. We've got a beautiful property here. This is a 2-2, 1456 square feet, 55-plus community. You have lighter color kitchen cabinetry, stainless steel appliances, newer flooring there as well. A nice glassed-in Florida room there in the back with some beautiful views there. Enclosed Florida room with glass that's facing the beautiful pond. Great opportunity. You also have access to clubhouse, fitness centers, billiards room, heated pool, tennis and basketball courts, shuffleboard, and recreational trails. 5729 Garden Lakes Palm, Bradenton, Florida. Beautiful property. All right, 7154 Shoreline Boulevard. We have the Weeki Wachee Marina for sale. Jay, this is up kind of your area, isn't it? Up
I'd like to
little
be
bit
up there.
north. Yeah. It's 3/4 of an acre. You have a well-established waterfront business. You have multiple income streams, authorized Suzuki servicer, long-standing team in place for service and repair operations. You have a retail shop for a retail store with fishing supplies, boating supplies. 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. You can search the MLS there. And if you want to see all of our radio, TV show experts, check us out at consumerqb.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Jay, so let's see. So when you think about the 2026, I see a lot of things happening. You know, you've got the big, beautiful bill happening in Florida. There's this talk about eliminating property taxes. We saw Progressive give $1 billion back of their insurance monies back to their policyholders. So I'm positive about the upcoming year, man.
I am too. And the property tax deal, I think, is going to be huge. We're not the only state looking at it. Texas and at least somebody else is looking at eliminating it.
I hadn't heard of that. That's good.
You know, I think Texas is actually ahead of us trying to get rid of it. So.
Yeah, maybe we can take some tips from them. But, you know, what happens is I think even Byron Donalds, you know, I'm hearing more, that he's kind of a front runner for governor. I like Jay Collins. But he, you know, I'm hearing that these guys, a lot of them are putting up these multiple bills, like 8 different bills. It's like, you know, trying to get 8 people to choose an ice cream flavor versus, you know, so the problem is I think they're going to flood it with a lot of different bills. And then you're not going to get 60%. You got to have that 60% threshold. So we need one bill that says very plainly, very simply, do you agree we should eliminate property taxes on primary residences? Yes or no, right?
Yeah, I do. And if they can't get that through, I look for the seniors. I mean, I just think if nothing else, you know, I turned 65.
Yeah.
You know, maybe these taxes should go away.
Well, there should be and Patrick Bet-David, who I listened to his podcast, he mentioned on his show, he pays something like $350,000 a year in property taxes. You know, uber wealthy, top 1%, of course. You know, something along those lines, like, hey, if your property's valued at $5 million, $10 million or more, you should still be able to kick in. You know, so we got to find a sweet spot where you know, we can protect those widows. A lot of times, you know, you got a widow there, husband was a Marine, served overseas, you know, all these different scenarios. Let's protect those people because they're the vulnerable ones. And it's not really our fault that people are moving in droves from California, New York, New Jersey, coming down here, jacking up the prices, right?
Well, just imagine if that happens.
Yeah.
If we do change property tax, how much more enticing is Florida going to be? I mean, it's going it could be that much more flow coming in.
It could be. And then you got the New York election where, you know, they elected a communist up there. It's going to be crazy to see how bad that goes. You know, it's a failed experiment. It's failed multiple times across the globe, ends up with hundreds of millions of deaths. Now, I hope it doesn't get to that point. But, you know, these people are sold a dream. Doesn't work. You're going to tax the wealthy even more. They're going to leave. These people are already leaving.
I just think it's interesting. I've seen some articles about a communist-style government and how unhappy the people are. Like, at least they're talking about that a little bit. But it seems like not everyone's listening.
Yeah.
You know, they tune that part of it out. It's like, oh, but we'll be happier because now in the long run, you're actually unhappy.
Yeah. It's like a free bus pass. Okay. What do you think all the homeless people are going to do? They're going to sit on that bus and just ride all day. You know, you're going to ride around. I mean, you're going to get those different types. And then the criminals, you know, it's just going to bring out the worst in the criminals too. It's going to be a terrible situation for New York. But Florida, we're going to be winning down here. We got great leadership.
There's consequences to those things.
Yeah, that's right.
They're going to learn.
Yep, they will. All right, Jay, check Jay Smith out online, a-snoop.com, best place for you.
Yep, that's the best place.
And your email
give us a
is
call at the office at 813-345-2600.
They can email you also, Jay@a-snoop.
Yep, or office at a-snoop. So
okay,
they can get us either one.
All right, good stuff. Work with Jay. We highly recommend him. All right, coming up, we have attorney Jason Kobal, Kobal Law here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, you know, we're almost close to 100 million views now on our YouTube channel. So please help us out. Go to youtube.com, subscribe to the Quarterback Show, Consumer Quarterback Show, and check us out online at consumerqb.com, at Brandon Rimes 1, at CQB Show. If you want to follow us on other socials, I'm sure you can find us. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rimes, Knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Attorney Jason Kobal joining us here in just a moment. We're going to talk about this interesting case here locally. It's a code enforcement director fired here in Tampa, Hillsborough County. Tampa code enforcement director fired after cashing lottery ticket for employee. Find out what he was doing there, the nefarious activity that he was doing. And then we'll talk about that with Jason as well. And also Rob Schneider put out a tweet, and it was kind of interesting because it's talking about BlackRock. We'll touch a base on that here as well. All right, 3308 Landing Place, one of our hot real estate listings from the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. This property on Landing Place is beautiful. It's in Cobb's Landing. This one is 3 bedrooms plus an office, 3.5 bath. You got a 2-car garage, 3,000 square feet, over a third of an acre lot. You have a ground level master bedroom, private pool, outdoor entertainment area, private marina, boat slips, and a ramp onto Lake Tarpon, which is a 2,500-acre lake right here in beautiful Pinellas County, Tampa Bay. Gated tennis and basketball courts, waterfront park, playground, and scenic walking trails. Check out 3308 Landing Place in Palm Harbor, Florida. South Taylor Road in Seffner. We've got some vacant land for sale. By the way, we have about a dozen or so vacant land parcels. If you're looking for land, we would love to help you with your help. Dry South Taylor Road in Seffner, Florida. The area is experiencing rapid growth in new residential communities and commercial developments as well. South Taylor Road in Seffner. Buy some dirt and grow the American dream, build some wealth by investing in real estate. There's no better way. And you can see all of our real estate listings and search the MLS at platinummvpteam.kw.com. You can see all of our radio, TV show expert contributors and previous shows at consumerqb.com.
And yeah, I'm raising my glass to those saving our ass overseas.
All right, we got attorney Jason Kobal back on the show. And Jason, how you been, sir?
Hey, Brendan, I'm hanging in there, man. I've actually had a rough go lately. I had a horrible run-in with kidney stones, and I went through an ordeal there. I had 7 surgical procedures in the last 5 months, but finally got rid of all of them. But, man, I don't wish that on anybody.
Ooh, man, that sounds terrible. 7 different procedures? That is tough, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, in hindsight, obviously, hindsight's 20/20. Clearly, the plan wasn't to get 7 surgeries, but unfortunately, it's just like one thing went wrong, then another. But all I could say is anybody who's over the age of like 40 out there, male or female, you got to be drinking a lot of water. These kidney stones are something, and you got to keep those kidneys flush with fluids because, man, it is no joke. They say it's as bad as childbirth. I can't speak to that, but it was pretty horrific.
You're not a birthing person?
No.
In other words,
not today.
Okay, yeah. So we're talking with attorney Jason Kobal. He handles personal injury law. Tampa Work Comp Law is his website, tampaworkcomplaw.com. And Jason, I want to play this clip here. This local Tampa enforcement director fired.
So Keith O'Connor is now the former code enforcement director here for the city of Tampa. FDLE says that he cashed a winning lottery ticket for an employee in order to help that employee avoid paying child support. Investigators tell us if Aubrey Pierce had turned in the winning $20,000 ticket himself, all of that money would have been seized to cover child support payments that he owes.
What a scumbag, helping his friend cheat out of paying child support. You know, hey, look, if you father a kid, you at least gotta pay up. You know, this is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell you, man, you always pick the best examples. You know, this one hits home because in every one of my cases, when we settle, actually, if the client owes child support, at least in workers' comp, half the money, half the gross that's going to go into that person's pocket goes to the child. And that's the law. And there's nothing we could do about that. And I can't prevent that if I wanted to. But a lot of times I'll get these situations where I settle the case. I tell the client, hey, half the money's going to go. And they beg me, please, write a check to this person's name or out for this amount, da-da-da-da. I will never do that. You got to pay your child support.
Right.
And that's horrific. And especially this is a lotto win. Come on, man. I mean, it's not enough. Kid.
It's like
Terrible.
Found money. Yeah, exactly. Here's one also, Jason. I don't know if you caught this one. This was so the UK police arrest a man over a shotgun photo. They seize devices and destroy his livelihood. So John Richelieu Booth, we were joking, it's John Wilkes Booth, posted a picture of himself holding a shotgun on a Florida shooting range, and the UK police treated it like a crime scene. He was arrested, jailed overnight, warned to, quote, think about how this post makes people feel, and had his phone and computer seized, leaving him unable to work for weeks. Authorities finally dropped the baseless public order charges, confirming what critics call Britain's new rule, the process is the punishment. Jason, your thoughts?
Oh, infuriating. It's just this trend that I see, just ridiculous. I blame the liberalism, honestly, just utterly ridiculous with the gun laws get abused for political purposes, and it's just a sick time. But I'm glad it got exposed.
Yeah, exactly. At least they're they are bringing it to light. That's what we can do. We can shine light to this darkness, and then that will ultimately prevail. If you just joined us, we're talking with attorney Jason Kobal, local attorney right here in Tampa Bay, can help you with work comp cases, personal injury law. And Jason, you had a pretty big win with a rideshare company recently. And then what else have you been seeing out there?
Yes, thank you, Brandon. Definitely, rideshare situation is no joke, and you guys probably all see on the commercials now. You see a lot of attorneys advertising to try to get those cases. If you are getting a rideshare like Uber, Lyft, or whatever, you just got to make sure that the driver is who they claim to be. Check the license plate. There's a lot of horrific crimes that have been occurring where riders are getting taken advantage of. And it's not just one of the companies. It's a problem. It's a systematic problem with the rideshare system itself. And they were abusing the independent contractor status of their drivers for over a decade and getting away with it. And now just recently the legal system has caught up. And I was one of the few attorneys, one of the first attorneys to nail one of the bigger companies recently on behalf of two passengers who were abused. So very serious stuff. It's hard to believe that it's happening, but you got to be careful out there with the rideshare companies. And if anybody had any problem like that, like they're attacked or robbed or what, drugs, please give us a call. And we have the experience that most attorneys at this point do not have as far as pulling that off.
Probably didn't give a 5-star review on that one, did they? They're to the driver. To the Uber driver?
No, not at all.
And
I feel so bad for my clients. They're just two beautiful young ladies, actually models, and just trying to celebrate their 21st birthday, doing the right thing. They didn't want to drink and drive, and then that happened. It was just a damn nightmare.
Yeah.
But
Rule of thumb, or something. Words of wisdom. Don't take shots from an Uber driver, right? Or a Lyft driver, or rideshare driver, any of them, taxi drivers. Don't take shots from them. All right, hey, Rob Schneider.
And we've all been there. When you're young, you do silly things, and get a little reckless. We all could have had incidents happen at one time or another, I'm sure. But life could change real fast if you make a mistake like that.
Oh yeah, many times you've had conversations. People say, people my age or my generation, let's say, I'm just glad there weren't all these cell phones and cameras when I was a young kid, or an adolescent, early teenager, right? But Rob Schneider, the comedian, he's a great comedian, does some really good stuff. If you haven't seen his joke about reparations in California, pull that one up on YouTube. You'll get a real good laugh out of it. But Rob Schneider, he did a post here recently, and it's quoting RFK Jr., It said, if there is still such a thing as antitrust and a monopoly, quote unquote, and not in the public interest, then this is definitely it. And it's got an American flag pointing down to this. He says, quote, there's only 4 meat packers in this country. BlackRock owns all of them. And that's from RFK. So unbelievable, the amount of control that some of these big companies have. I think of one of the big tech companies, pretty much pick any big tech company, but the one that starts with a G, the way that they have control over search, and then for BlackRock to have control over the meat packers in this country, it's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all about control, and technology is awesome, and we've come so far. But it seems like the more we advance with technology, the less privacy we all have. And some of this stuff we definitely got to get a handle on. AI is another example. And there's been, there's some great benefits to it that I've seen, but I've seen it backfire. I've even used it a few times and have seen that the information it was giving me was wrong. And
Right.
It's amazing that these huge companies are the ones that really set the algorithms and control all these things, and they're controlling what we eat, controlling what we learn.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. But it's definitely tough times.
Yeah, it really is. I was listening to one of our expert contributors on the show. It may have been Aaron Williamson with Cornerstone, but we were talking. I think it might have been off air, but we were talking about because you think about Chat GPT, Gemini. There's a good handful of them, right? And then you think about, what would be a best practice. So as an organization, if you can feed the data into these AI systems, there's a better word for it, but the AI environment, and then if you don't have the ability to do that, then you would want to take a look at 4 or 5 of the top AI intelligence bots or whatever you want to call them, and then ask them all the same question, then kind of accumulate that data, come up with an overarching theme or set of facts, right? I mean, that seems like the best way.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's what we need. We need people to focus, get a better handle on it, and get a better control, because there's definitely some danger to it. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
And Jason, this was a big one too, Trump accounts, these Dell-funded Trump accounts. So they expanded the program. Really cool. Michael Dell, remember back in the day, the one of the commercials that was something like, dude, you're getting a Dell. So the Dell computer guy, yeah, $6 billion plus gift to kids. And it's pretty cool, man, because you look at, and there's also, they just expanded the program from the initial story that I saw, but it's a $6.25 billion donation. You have $25 million children that are going to have access to accounts, $250 into the accounts for children aged 10 and under, born before January 1, 2025, and then $150,000 is the median income. But essentially, it's Trump accounts. How they work, they're going to get $1,000 seed money from the government for babies, and then it's going to be invested in stocks and ETFs. Tax-free growth until withdrawn at age 18. You got to be a U.S. born citizen between 2025 2028, and you must have a Social Security number, and then parents can contribute. So I love that idea, man. Your thoughts?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's very exciting. Lots of cool stuff. I'd like to. I'm so obviously, I'm biased, but I'm so proud of our president here in his second term, and I don't really care about what the ratings say, because our polling systems are all messed up as it is anyway. But I'm very proud of the changes that he's made to the economy and obviously overseas as well. But that's awesome.
Yeah, speaking of the economy, I mean, the big, beautiful bill hasn't even fully taken effect yet. There's a lot of provisions that are going to start in January, and you're going to see, I believe you're going to see a boom in January, February, March. Q1, Q2, you're going to see a lot happening. I also think you're going to have that Mondami effect when it comes to real estate. They elected a communist up there in New York. There's going to be a lot of people moving down here. And it's going to take a little bit of time. Some people are going to wait out through the holiday seasons. But I bet you by the end of March, man, we're going to be hitting on all cylinders, not only in the United States, but here locally in Florida real estate, Jason.
I totally agree. It's going to be awesome. But even crime, what President Trump has done with crime has been amazing. Washington, D.C. could go now and visit again. And it just seems like he's been one step ahead of him in this second term. It's been fun to watch.
It really has, yeah, and I hope we keep the pressure on and just really win big in the midterms. It's going to be great to see. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk with Jason Kobal, more with Jason Kobal. Also, we have a feel-good story of the day. Daddy-daughter dance in notorious prison turns out worst of the worst into loving fathers again. Feel-good story of the day coming up. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1890.com.
Tired of long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation, aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online, willsmithaviation.com. That's willsmithaviation.com, or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke, American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, online at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Kobal, owner of Kobal Law. Kobal Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com, TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Kobal, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Personal Injury Law, and Work Comp Law. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net for all of your surveying needs. Land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, interesting feel-good story of the day coming up here. Daddy-daughter dance in notorious prison turns out. So feel-good story coming up. We got Jason Kobal on the show. He's an attorney, work comp law, personal injury law here in Tampa Bay. Save our hotline number. At some point, you may need it. Also, go to consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors. What we've done is we accumulated all the best folks in Tampa Bay, white-collar, blue-collar companies. We're your local Google. Whatever you need here locally, we want to help you and be that source of information and connections for you to help you save time and money and avoid that commission breath that's so prevalent out there. Seems anywhere you look nowadays, you got commission breath coming at you. All right, we'll look at a listing here or there, and we'll do our feel-good story of the day. Let's take a look here at our bar for sale. It's 5402 West US Highway 92 in Plant City. We got a commercial property bar for sale out in Plant City. It's got the 4 COP license. Very coveted license there. You can utilize that in many different ways. 5402 West Highway 92 in Plant City. Commercial property. The Finish Line Saloon is listed by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Have you ever wanted to own your own business, own your own bar? Well, here you go. You got 16 taps, ice machine, flat screens, TV, on-site ATM, jukebox, pool tables, website, established online presence. 5402 West US Highway 92, Plant City, Florida. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Search the MLS there, and you can also see all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com.
He ain't prejudice, he's just made in America. Tell me something good.
All right, here's our feel-good story of the day. So a Louisiana State prison hosted an emotional daddy-daughter dance, allowing incarcerated fathers, many of hadn't seen their daughters in years, to share a meaningful night together, organized by the nonprofit God Behind Bars. The event brought 29 fathers, 37 daughters together for a heartfelt evening, complete with donated suits, professional hair and makeup, floral decor, and a Thanksgiving meal. The program aimed to support restoration, dignity, and family connection, values often overlooked in the U.S. Prison system, with the system's focus on punishment. Throughout the night, fathers danced with their daughters, performed choreographed routines, and briefly stepped out of their inmate identities to simply be dad. The event moved many to tears, highlighting the power of love, healing, and second chances. Organizers and participants described as transformative proof that even in one of the nation's toughest prisons, moments of grace, joy, and family renewal are possible. So, hopefully those were just the low rate offenders, not the bad or super bad guys. Because hey, look, especially if they're killing people. I hear that debate so often out there. It's like, oh, do you still believe in the death penalty? Every now and then I'm gonna come across, Charlie Kirk videos or whatever. And absolutely, that's one of the main civil teachings of the Torah, the Bible. It's the first five. It's in all first five books of the Torah, of the Bible, the Old Testament. It says if you shed blood, if you kill, then basically you deserve to be killed. If you shed blood, then by man shall your blood be shed. So yes, the death penalty for terrible people, the really bad people. But hey, whenever you have those types of maybe second rate prisoners, yeah, hey, why not let them do something like that? But let's focus on the people outside of the prisons. And but I like that story overall. Jason Kobal, Consumer Quarterback Show expert contributor, legal analyst. What else are you seeing out there, my friend?
Well, I by the way, I agree 100% with you on that. Eye for an eye, and at the same time, I know there's lots of people that did their time and are doing their time, doing things the right way, and they have a right to see their family. That's cool. I think that was a real good story, but double-edged sword there for sure. Definitely, every situation is different, and there's definitely fact scenarios where horrible people, should pay horrible crimes for what they did. That's for sure.
That's right.
But
justice
at
and
any
mercy.
rate,
that's the old paradigm, right? The justice and mercy. If you're showing too much, having justice to the victims, right?
That's it. That's it. But no, but as far as everything's been great lately, as far as business, lots of car accidents. That's never going to stop, unfortunately, here in Florida. But that's our goal for next year. Is we're focused primarily on our PI department. With we have a very good system in place where we limit costs to our clients, and we take pride in putting the most in our client's pocket than any other injury firm does. And that's our focus, and it's worked well for us for the past decade. But so been in business representing injured workers and just any injured party since 2011, and we're looking forward to continue it.
I love that. Yeah, man, that's good stuff. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. You can find them online. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. And Jason Kobal, thanks for joining us.
Welcome, man. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate it. All right. Hey, another great show. I want to thank Jay Smith on the front end there, A-Snoop Inspection. Of course, attorney Jason Kobal, always a fan on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I want to thank everybody for supporting the show and following us online. We're very close to 1 million views now on YouTube. So do us a big favor. Go to YouTube, subscribe, share, like, and share it, and tweet it, and all that good stuff. At Brandon Rimes 1, at CQB Show. And we greatly appreciate everybody supporting the show and doing something kind for one another. Go out there and be a source for good in the community, a force for good in the community. Do something kind for one another, be a force for good. And even the simple things, just do something nice for, especially this time of year. It's the holidays, Christmas time. Jesus is the reason for the season. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.